a él mismamente ya.
Hi everybody! How was lunch? Good. Very good, thank you. Sorry to keep you waiting. It was a little slow. Went to un restaurante un poco de So what's up? What should we talk about? All those cameras. Hello. What's going on? Tell me stories, ask me questions. What do you want to know about? This is it. This is our last chance to really talk. So bring it. I'm sure there's something burning in your brains.
How did you feel last night?
It was fun. Yeah.
What was the craziest fan thing you did?
What's the craziest fan thing I did?
Yeah, you're a friend from somebody and you went for...
I'm not a very good fan. I'm not gonna lie. You're much better fans than I am. I think that the craziest thing I ever did was we were in Venice, for during the film festival, and we were staying at the Cipriani, which is very nice hotel, and all of the A-list movie stars in the world were there, and us, and it was a little ridiculous. But there's a bar at the Cipriani that is about the size of this area in front of the chairs. It's the tiniest little bar. And after opening night, we'd all been to the opening night of the film festival, and everyone's in their tuxes and gowns, and we're in this little bar having drinks, and all of a sudden, all the stars start to come in. There's Tom Cruise, and Katie Holmes, and Reese Witherspoon, and Ryan Phillippe, and although I think they've just thrown out maybe, but and Denzel Washington, and on and on and on and on. And I'm fine. Oh, look at all those idiots, whatever. And then Meryl Streep walked in. Oh. And I literally had to leave. I was like, I can't be alone. I've had a couple drinks. I cannot be alone in a room with this woman. No good will come of this. So I left. I went to bed. I couldn't say. That's the craziest thing I've ever done.
Thank you.
Hello again.
Hello.
So maybe this is the last chance. I will tell you again that we love you.
Thank you, that's very sweet.
We love you, Emmett.
love you.
Thank you. And we love you, Emmett, because whenever something happens bad to him, he picks himself up, he dusts himself up, and he starts again, as we do in our life too.
Yes.
So now the question, have you ever had any problems with the naked scenes?
That's a tough question to answer. You knew going in what the show was. We had to sign a 20-page nudity contract in amongst all our other contracts when we took the job. So we knew what was coming. And you knew you could open a script any day and be like, okay, I guess this week it's my turn. And so you didn't eat any carbohydrates. I mean, I don't think any of us had a carb for 5 years. I would eat donuts on my birthday, on Christmas, and on the last day of shooting. Because donuts are my favorite thing in the world. But please don't bring me donuts because I can't have them anymore because
Knife and fork?
I'm gordito. What?
Knife and fork?
No, I did do that at work. Dan and Ron wrote that in because they saw me doing it at work because I didn't want to get, I was in costume, I was in wardrobe, and I didn't want to get donuts all over myself. So I was just trying to be a good boy, a good respectful actor. And that's I didn't with that before. Dan and Ron thought it was hilarious, so they put it in the show.
So we halfway through the first season, Showtime came to us and said, edgier, go for it. We love how edgy this show is. Push it. We want to be the edgiest show on television. And we were all like, oh yeah, we're the edgiest show on television. you want edgy? We're going to give you fucking edgy. And we started, I did full frontal nudity a couple times on the show. And one time, I think it's really beautiful and heartbreaking when Emmett has sex with Nancy, I think, or Nancy was either the character or the actress. And you know, that's awful and awkward, and they roll off each other, and they're both laying there just buck naked. And I think as a viewer, you have the same, you feel what they're feeling. You feel awkward, you feel vulnerable for them, you feel scared for them, kind of. And I think it's so right, and I'm proud that I did that. Then, a few episodes later, there's a locker room scene where me, Ted, and Brian, and maybe Mike, I think Michael's there too, are in the locker room at the gym, and we're having this scene, and it's just a scene about what we're doing this weekend or what happened last weekend. I don't even remember. And the reason I don't remember is nobody remembers, because you don't listen to a single word I'm saying because my cock is in your face. And it was we were so like, it's edgy, it's so edgy. We're in a locker room, guys get naked in the locker room, I want to be naked. And it just didn't add any value to the show, I didn't think. At the end, looking back, I thought I made one really right choice about that and one really wrong choice about that. So that's my story about getting naked. Thank you.
This girl is wondering what's the next step to who's necessary to do to make equal the gays' rights to the to the people, to the straight people, make equals the rights to between gays and straight people.
Where? ¿De dónde?
The United States. In the United States.
In the United States, there's several states in the United States where everything is equal already, but only a few. We need to pass on a national level same-sex marriage rights for everyone and employment protection for everyone. Because right now in 36 states, you can be fired just for being gay. That's the only reason they need. Yeah, really. And it sucks, and nobody knows it. Most people don't know it. A lot of gay people don't know it until it happens. So it's so there's still there's a lot more to do. You have a very strong sense in the States that the tide has turned, and that that's all going to happen. You can feel it. You can feel it now. State after state after state, even the states that have tried very hard to ban same-sex marriage are finding themselves losing the battle in the courts. People are suing and saying, well, my brother got married in California, I got married in California, he married a woman, I married a man, but so why isn't my marriage recognized here if his is? And those lawsuits are going our way. So it's all coming, it's just going to take some more time.
What's your favorite series in all your life, in general? Your favorite series?
Other television series?
Yeah.
It's Friends.
Friends.
Yeah, I would be lying. They'll even tell you, they make fun of me because I act like they're my real friends. I'll tell stories about them like they're my real friends. I still watch Friends almost every night when I go to sleep. Yeah.
Favorite character?
On Friends? Phoebe.
I just remembered seeing on YouTube when the cast was on CNN with Larry King, and he called Emmett Swishy, and I'm just wondering what you remember from that interview.
The main thing I remember from that interview is that Larry King is really, really old and had not really prepared for that interview and had no idea who any of us were. He kept talking to me, he kept saying I was Brian. I was like, no, that's not me. And the only thing he was really interested in was the fact that Randy and I said we were openly gay. He just kept sort of being like, you're really a faggot? Like he could not wrap his head around that. He just, so you're really a cocksucker, huh? You really kiss men. Like he just, you could tell that's all he wanted to say is like, you let them stick their dicks in your butt? Like he just wanted so badly to that's all he could kind of wrap his head around. And Marlon Brando kissed me once, and shut up, Larry. So it was not a great experience. It was, what I did love about it though, was that was the show was being talked about on that level, And that happens all the time now, but at that time, that didn't happen. You know, it didn't happen that news shows were talking about entertainment with that kind of discourse, so.
So the cast wasn't invited on any other type of...
No, not really. Not really. We never, you know, we never did Oprah. We never did. I mean, we all did little things. We did a lot of print journalism, but no, we didn't do a lot of heavy kind of talk show rounds, except in Canada. We were on the Mike Bullock show all the time. I love Mike. That was fun. That was fun.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Ciao.
Ciao, ciao.
What is your favorite scene or moment in Queer as Folk, and you don't have in that scene necessarily?
My favorite scene in Queer as Folk.
Oh,
So you want one that I'm in and one that I'm not in? Is that what you guys? Yeah. Okay. I think there's a lot of them. One of my favorite scenes that I'm in is a couple. All right, I'll say George in the bathroom in the airplane. Because it starts as naughty and a little romantic, and then it gets funny, and then it gets scary, and then it gets heartbreaking. And it's very rare that you get to do all of that in one scene. Scene. There's some others too. Like I love the scene where Emmett goes to Brian, the Lana Turner speech.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite speeches.
Yeah.
I love the speech that Emmett gives to Blake at the end of season 1.
Yeah.
You break his heart, and I'll break your face. So those are pretty great, you know, moments for me.
There's maybe one thing you still want to do in your life?
There are a lot of things I still want to do.
Okay, maybe do you have a crazy thing to do in your life?
A crazy thing I still want to do in my life? I don't know. I do a lot of crazy things. I moved to LA. I became an actor, for God's sake. It's like, that's crazy. That's dumb. Don't do that. The thing I'll say that I most want to do, just that's so apparent to me right now, is I want to live in Europe. I want to spend a year in Europe and really be based here and really get to steep myself in the culture and history because I love it so much. So, but there's never any time. Yes.
Hi there.
Hi.
There's actually two things I just got in my mind when you mentioned the low carb food.
Mm-hmm.
Emmett eats a lot of bacon in the program. And is it really bacon or is it something else?
No, that was really bacon.
It is.
Yeah.
So thank God.
We ate a lot of fake other stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I ate fake ice cream mostly. You'll notice there's not a lot of bread on the show. You'll notice there were some scenes where we would have to eat hamburgers, you'll also notice if you look carefully that we're eating things, or we're eating around it, or so.
What about the eclair? Just got to my mind. Was it really in one go?
That was a real eclair.
In one go?
Oh yeah.
Oh my God. I know it wasn't
do you
but...
remember the shot of Emmett kneeling down to deep throat the porn star? I can fit a lot in my mouth. We had a director once who, for that very shot, Michael DiCarlo directed that episode, and he had his viewfinder, which is this little, it's like a lens of a camera, but the director just carries it around so he can see what the camera's going to see. And he goes, Peter, come here for a second. And he held up to me and he goes, open your mouth as wide as you can. And I went, you sure about that? And he's like, yeah. And I went, and I put the whole thing in my mouth. And he pulled back and he turned bright red. I was like, didn't know I could do that, did you? Was there another thing?
Yeah, it was not the question. just very briefly, I haven't seen Foster's, I hadn't had the chance yet. And what I liked so much about Queer as Folk was every episode was like a box, you know. Every episode, you would open it up, and it was full of surprises all the time. You get so surprised, and you thought, it goes like this. No. It went like a rabbit somewhere else. Is the Fosters, is it a little bit similar?
I think the Fosters is more that way, actually. I mean, I don't know if people are why. The Fosters is, we will fuck with you. I mean, a little bit, what we spend the majority of our time in the writer's room doing is going, well, we could go that way, but what if we went that way and then we did this? Boy, will everyone be pissed off at us. Like, it's very much a surprise-driven show, so. Yeah.
I already said that too in the panel with Gail. Nothing was able so far to replace the way why I like Queer as Folk that much, so I must watch Fosters that way. Thank you very much.
There's some good turns, I promise.
Hi.
Hi.
In the show there are a lot of beautiful songs.
Yeah.
What's your favorite?
There's a song by the Eels, Love the Loveless. Do you know that song?
Yeah.
I love that song. I love that song.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sure.
I love Proud.
And of course, everybody loves Proud. I do love Proud. I think Proud's a fantastic song. It still gives me chills every time I hear it.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
I want to ask, how did you get the inspiration for the Fosters? If there
How
is
did I get what?
inspiration to...
Oh, inspiration, yes.
If there is a message to share or something you want to talk about, I don't know, inspiration.
My writing partner and I had really, we looked around at American television and there was one family drama on TV, and I love family dramas. I think they're so interesting, and there was Only Parenthood, which is a show I love, and so we said, let's go out and pitch a family drama, and then we talked about, well, what would that be? And we talked about doing a two-dad show that maybe I would act in, but there were already, The New Normal was coming on, and there were already Two Dads on Glee, and there were already Two Dads on Modern Family, and we just thought, it's kind of been done. But what really has not been done on American television in any kind of meaningful way is two moms at the center of a family. And every lesbian couple I know either has kids or is pregnant or is trying to get pregnant. Every single one. I do not know a lesbian couple that does not have kids. So I just thought, like, well, where the fuck is that on TV? So we decided we wanted to do that. And then it immediately begs the question, when it's a same-sex couple, how did they create their family? And we just decided to shove as much of that as we could come up with in there, you know, one biological son, adopted twins, and two foster kids. There you go, instant drama. And we also made everybody of different races, because that's also what the world looks like, to me at least, when I look around, you know? And so we kind of laid the groundwork for a really great, complicated series, just by constructing this family the way that we did. So,
Thank you.
thank you.
Hi again.
Hi.
Going back to Queer as Folk.
Yes.
Is there any topic that, in your opinion, hasn't been covered at all or enough in the whole series?
I mean, that's the thing about Queer as Folk, and one of the reasons I was okay with it ending is that we really ran the gamut of sort of topics as they relate to the gay community. You know what I mean? I can't think of anything, and I can't think of anything in the last 10 years that is, the circumstances are different, but I don't think there's suddenly a new sort of story about the gay community that we didn't get to tell. You know, that makes sense? So honestly, to answer your question, not really. There's nothing where I think, oh, only we'd done that. Because we did it all.
Yeah, but enough old topics? Or you would stress on something else? You would have stressed something particularly, like, for example, bullies.
Bullies?
Bullies.
But I mean, we did a great bully story that had huge impact. We did the whole Chris Hodges story is a bully story, you know. And so I can't say that I think we didn't. I feel like those stories landed. I think that's why we're all sitting here, because I think those stories landed, you know? So, yeah, no, I got nothing.
Okay.
All right, good question, though, thank you.
I've got one.
Director question. If you could redo any movie and direct it, which one would you do?
If I could redo any movie, if I could write it. Now, see, that's an interesting question, because here's the thing. People often, you know, they say great movies. I don't want to remake a great movie.
Any movie.
Yeah, no, I know. I think a lot of people, when answering this question, will be like, oh, I want to remake, you know, It's a Wonderful Life, or I want to remake Ben-Hur, or something. No, I don't want to do a great movie. I want to make a movie that I think didn't work, and try to make it work. Right. You know what I mean? Let me think about it. I'm going to get back to you.
Okay.
I'm going to get back to you.
And also, would you rewrite the script?
Well, probably. But it wasn't working. All right, I have to think about that.
Okay.
I know there are some. I thought, I'll tell you one right now. Rent. I thought the movie version of Rent sucked. And I'm not even a Rent head. I don't even think it's a great. It doesn't really move me. It moves me. Everything moves me. But it's not something where I'm super passionate about. But I thought that movie could have been so good. There were so many pieces in place for that to really, really work. And I thought it was so dumb. So there's one. Yeah.
More questions?
Peter, if you talk about the characters on Friends, like other friends, do you get how I feel, or maybe how we feel about the characters on Queer as Folk?
Absolutely. That's part of the reason. That's why I do it. Honestly, it really is. I totally get it. It's that having a relationship to fictional characters, I understand it. I do. I mean, I get 10 seasons of Friends. You only get 5 of Queer as Folk, there's something about storytelling that has moved us as people from the beginning of time. You know what I mean? It goes all the way back into the caves. We were dancing and making up songs and stories for each other to warn you how to fight off the bears or the woolly mammoths. I don't know. I don't know why it started exactly, but all I know is that it did, and that it spoke to something in all of us, and that that much the way that we dream, it says so much about who we are and what we're feeling and where we're at a particular time. I think we take stories into us, and they become a part of us. And they shape how we view the world and how we interact with the world. So I get it. And, I think Brian and Emmett and Ted and Justin and Michael and Melanie and Lindsay, I think they're great people that I would be interested to know. So I totally get it.
Talking about Aristotle. No, if you would have a chance to film a movie, you could live in a decade and make a movie then. Like, obviously, it must be the last century sometimes, you could start with the Lumiere brothers, but it's a little bit early for that. What kind of movie, or what time would you choose to make your own stuff? If you could choose.
I probably would do 30s. I'm a big sucker for some good old Hollywood glamour.
Yeah.
And I am constantly threatening to direct productions of plays set in the 30s and things like that. And so if you're going to send me back in time to do work of a period, it would probably be late 20s, early 30s.
Yeah. Have you seen the Grand Budapest Hotel yet?
I have not seen it yet.
I'm not going to spoil anything.
Okay.
If you want to make a remake, it's a great movie, but think about, maybe you remember, I'd love to see your version of it by storytelling, the storytelling from you.
Interesting.
But the same pictures, visualized, everything. I loved it.
Yeah.
Like a Queen came.
I think Wes Anderson has the most keen visual sense in the world, but I do find his stories drag. And the end.
Thank you. This is what I'm saying.
It drives me crazy.
Go there, you love it, but Tilda Swinton is so, oh God, so adorable. It's every brief,
Yes.
too adorable to miss. But
Got it.
with another storytelling,
Yes.
that's an idea.
Oh, thank you. I know, things to steal. Hi.
Do Ron and Dan know that there are queer folk conventions? Do they know you
They
come?
do, they absolutely do.
I'm sure they're happy about
They're
it.
very happy. I think we have to get Dan and Ron to a convention sometime. I think you guys, I think it would be so meaningful to them to get to see how this work has resonated over a decade. I really think they're often forgotten, I think, in these conversations and also in the sort of general scope of gay and lesbian images in the media. They get overlooked. And I know it was a remake of a British series, but they turned it into something uniquely American, and they put their stamp on it, and I think we all owe them a huge debt of gratitude. So, yeah.
I have another question. I asked Gail and Randy because I'm a big fan of Inside the Actors Studio and James Lipton's questions at the end.
Right.
So what is your favorite word?
My favorite word? That's a tough one. I mean, there's so many good words. I write, I'm a writer. So there's so many good words. The words I type the most are just and actually, and I know I type just the most because I misspell every single, or I mistype it. J-S-U-T, every single time. I love the word justice. If you're asking me my favorite dirty word, it's definitely cunt. Because it's the only word that has any impact anymore. Like you can say fuck at church and nobody really knows. Yeah, I'll say justice.
Okay.
Really
What's your least favorite word?
Shame.
Very good. And if you should reach the pearly gates, what would you like? What would you say?
Come here, baby.
Very good. Thank you.
Speaking of Dan and Ron, they used to, I read one article where they said that they used to act out all the characters before as they were writing and everything. Do you think about the characters when you're writing?
That's all it is.
That's all you do think
That's
about?
all it is. I am living every one of those characters every time I do a pass on a script. I do the last pass on every script in the Fosters pretty much, and so I'm always just going through like hearing them in my head, hearing the actors in my head, but also where they meet with me, like where like all of those characters came out of me and Brad and the other writers, but there's yes, that's all that it is for me, is acting them all out.
And I like that statement that you made many times about we came to the queer but we're safe with folk, and that is so true. I know for a lot of us it is for me. And my very first episode to watch during the season was your Lana Turner speech, and that's my first impression, and I loved you ever since.
Well, thank you very much. It means a lot to me.
Thank you.
Did you think about to make a new project with all the cast? I don't know, through all the cast with queer folks in a future.
Maybe. I love them all and I respect them so much as actors. I would love to work with them. Scott did a little part for me on The Fosters, and I directed Michelle in Leaving Barstow, which if you have not seen it, you have to find a way to watch it. Michelle is brilliant in it. She's amazing in it. So yeah, I would love to. I would love to do that.
Because she's...
Yes, totally, yes. See.
Yeah, because she said you have an incredible chemist.
Chemistry, yes.
Yeah.
We do. I know we do. It's so clear. We,
Si
that's...
os lo habéis planteado, ¿sí?
Yeah.
¿Ya se lo han planteado ellos?
But no, she said, did you think about it, really to make a new project? Or it's a possibility, that you think only you talk with Gail or Scott or
It's not something, I don't have time to do it right now. I wouldn't say it's a realistic possibility right now, but it's certainly something that would be fun and interesting to do. Okay.
Thank you. No more questions? No?
Anybody else?
Well.
Don't go home with something in your throat that you didn't say.
The time is almost over, but okay, the last question. Yes, yeah, that's good.
I'm the translator interpreting. She's asking and I'm trying to. I got the question.
Susanna, your English is so good. Why aren't you asking the question?
You write for posters.
Yeah.
And all the actors here always say, yeah, when it's a movie here from Heroes Sport, yeah, we will do it.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you write a script for that?
There are, I was thinking, you know, Dan and Ron deserve the first opportunity to do that. If they decide they want to do it, that's who should do it. Why don't you write something for the whole cast to do?
Yeah.
We'll see.
That.
We'll see.
Please.
That's it? That's when it's over. Oh, I know. Well, just know that we adore you. I mean, and we're coming back. You're going to see me in 2 seconds with the other three. So, but thank you so much for being here. It means the world to me, and I am forever in your debt for being willing to share your love of the work.